Hey everybody, Dogman's blog, formerly Spiteful Crow here. We're going to be playing Sonic CD, and the general consensus in the thread was that the Japanese version had the better soundtrack, so that's what we'll be working with. So let's sit back, watch the intro, and get this train rolling. Yeah, that's right, I swapped out the original intro for the American one. Toot Toot Sonic Warriors. Fucking terrible, and if you like it, you should probably feel bad. That said, let's get cracking on our first zone, Palmtree Panic. Now right off the bat, you'll notice that there's no Tails, which I honestly think is a benefit in this game, because he's not there to get in our way. Also, you'll see one of the new additions to Sonic's repertoire, the Super Peel Out, which behaves similar to a Spin Dash, but it's not an attack, you can get hurt out of it, and it moves a little bit faster. Coming up, the game wastes no time in giving us our first decision to travel to the future or past, which is something that people have said takes away from the Sonic experience by making it more exploration-based instead of speed. Personally, I never played it for speed, I played them just because they were fun. The way this works is you hit one of these signposts, build up some speed to get this sparkly trail following you, don't slow down, and in a few seconds you'll get warped. This is the only time I'm going to be showing you this warp screen throughout the Let's Play, because I'm going to be doing a lot of time warping throughout each zone, and it's going to get really annoying really quickly, so from now on I'll just cut it out. So here we are in the bad future, where everything's become all industrialized and run down and polluted from Robotnik's machinery. I wish there was more of a reason to stay here longer, because in general I think the bad future music is the best part of the soundtrack, but for the purposes of this Let's Play, all we can really do here is collect some rings to help us get to the special stage, because our primary objective in each zone lies in the past versions of each act. I always thought it was cool how, over time, in the bad future, the badniks have become all busted and broken down. Like how the butterflies have holes in their wings and can't move as quickly, the ant robots look a little depressed and are slowed down, and the blue beetle-looking things can't shoot at you anymore. This will also happen in the present to some degree, but not really all that often. And since there's nothing really for us to do here, we'll just head back there now so we can get to the past. Fortunately for us, there's a past signpost right near where we warped back to, but what I should have done was hit that future post before hitting the past one, instead of mucking it up like I did and hitting it on the way back, forcing me to find another one. So I apologize for this little bit of backtracking. I'll save you about a minute and speed that part up. So here's the past, where, at least in most of the zones, it's a little more laid back and chill. And just over here we see our first Metal Sonic projector. You can destroy it if you want, it's not necessary for the good ending, it just causes animals to hop around all time periods of the act. I like how this area is a little prehistoric and rife with vegetation. It's almost social commentary on how if we don't change our ways, our future is fucked. But you know what, fuck Al Gore, I like my gas-guzzling SUVs, and fuck that spring. I always run into it, and it always throws me off, but whatever, we'll just get cracking here. Now we warped in a spot that's pretty close to our destination in this area, the Roboticizer, the machines that Robotnik spread everywhere that caused the bad future. We need to destroy these for the good ending, and doing so will destroy all enemies in the past and good future of that act. With that, we're done here, and we can rush to the end of the stage, where we can move on to our first special stage, which is one of my favorite parts of the game. The special stages in Sonic CD are really creative, and probably my favorite out of any of the Sonic games. It's a simple premise. You run around this cool Mode 7 stage, destroying these UFOs and collecting rings and the occasional speed shoes, all the while avoiding the obstacles they put in your way, like those chomping jaws you saw at the beginning that trip you and make you lose rings, or the water that if you touch it you lose time. Generally, the special stages aren't all that hard, and they don't get repetitive because the backgrounds and the layouts change each time, although this one was particularly easy and I could just breeze right through it and grab our first time stone. There's no Super Sonic in Sonic CD, however grabbing all the time stones will destroy every roboticizer in the game, meaning that there will be no more enemies in the past, and only good futures, which also means no enemies there. That'll do it for Act 1, and moving on into Act 2, there's really nothing new for us to see, no new gimmick or machinery or anything like that, so we can just go ahead and skip right to the past. And conveniently for us, right after we drop down here a bit, there's a signpost right at the beginning of the stage. So we don't really have to waste any time. Just be careful if you do it this way not to hit the springs on the way down, as it's messed me up quite a few times.